Hey guys, Gary with Door Closers USA. In today's video, we're going to show you how to remove a flush bolt and replace it. A flush bolt lock, there's typically two, and you're going to experience this on the double door storefront system. So here we have the double door storefront system, and if you come out here we have the bottom flush bolt lock, and it flips down. There, it's released right now, but it flips down and plunges into the threshold. And then up here we have an upper one. So I'm gonna unplunge it, and then you might be able to see it from there, but it plunges up and down. It locks the inactive door essentially. But a lot of times they just have a nylon guide, and over the years, wear and tear, they need to be replaced. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna replace this upper one today. And as you can see too, this one's actually leaking. If you come over here, Nick, you can see that this one, here's an example, like this one is leaking. You can see the oil on it. It looks like it was greased up, but you could honestly probably just clean that up because it's just the grease that's coming down. Sometimes that happens with these newer flush bolts. So if you do see that, don't be too alarmed. The repair will usually be pretty obvious, like maybe the rod is damaged and it won't slip into the hole or something like that. But let's go ahead and remove it so you guys can see what it looks like. So I'm just gonna prop this door open with my floor stop. Need the camera real quick so I can show them. So here's that flush bolt lock. And then there's the nylon guide right there. Here's the guide that keeps the rod in place. And then if I flip it, it goes up and down. And it goes into this hole here, right in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and remove this. As I do it, the first thing I'm going to want to do is remove the guide. That way I'll be able to remove the flush bolt. So when I do the guide, I'm going to have to hold on to it so it doesn't drop into the door. Otherwise it could potentially fall down. Well, I guess on this, it doesn't matter too much. You can probably get it from the bottom, but just in case. So here's what the guide looks like. Okay, so now that that's off, now I can actually remove the flush bolt itself. So I'll remove the bottom one first. And while I'm removing this one, I'm going to want to hold on to the rod so it doesn't drop down. Okay, and I'm holding it here. Now, if you're doing the bottom flush bolt, you can actually route this through this hole for replacement. It is possible, but so you can actually come out through here for replacement if you wanted to do the bottom one. But being as we're at the top, I'm just gonna slip it up through here. Okay, and then there it's out. Now, all these flush bolts are available on our website, doorclosersusa.com. I'll put the link down below for them. We carry flush bolts for all door makes and models. But essentially, when you go to replace this, what you're wanting to do is when you get your new flush bolt, you're going to want to make sure that it's adjusted pretty much the same to how the original is adjusted, meaning you want the rod threaded in the same amount. That way, when you go to install it, everything lines up really good. You can see it's just a nut and it's a threaded rod. So that height is adjustable. If you know your door model and make, that's going to be the best route for getting a replacement flush bolt. We carry flush bolts, like I said, for all makes and models. So if you know your make and model, then that's going to help you identify which flush bolt you need. But if not, you could always call in and we could explain how to measure it. But yeah, if you know your make and model, that's the best route. So this is actually a good flush bolt. it's a new one, you can tell. It's just that you could see it was greased, which is good, but you know, as you work it within the first couple of weeks of installation, sometimes that grease you know, will come out a little bit. Nothing wrong with it. We're just gonna wipe it down and put this back in because it's still a good flush bolt. But a lot of times what you'll see is you'll see damage on this nylon block mechanism here, and then you need replacement. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall this. I'm gonna go ahead and line it up. And you can see it's sort of mortised in right here. So as I do this, obviously you want to hold the nylon guide in. And I'm just going to start the screws, that way I don't have to hold on to this thing. Both screws here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and line up the flush bolt guide as well. So now this is pretty taut, so I can actually just let go of it, this one, which is nice. And of course, after any installation, you want to double check it, as well as shut the door. And let's check that latch that way. Okay, and perfect. Flips back up. Threshold ones are usually a little bit harder to line up, but you just kind of have to play with it. There you go, right there. So if I were to do the bottom one, it is possible to remove the screws, lift this up back here, finagle the rod through this hole and pull it out. Of course, if you didn't want to mess with that and you're okay with removing the door, you can always remove the door, lay it on a sawhorse, and do it that way. Then you have tons of room. But essentially, guys, that's how you do a flush bolt lock replacement on a storefront door system. All of these flush bolts and parts are available at doorclosersusa.com. I'll put the link down below. Thanks a lot, guys.